I'm kind of shocked that, you know, gaming on a MacBook, especially it's a 2-year-old MacBook, is going this well. All right, I want to test out Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on Apple's 3-year-old, 2-year-old at this point, M1 Max with 64 gigs of RAM and the full maxed out 32-core GPU. Let's see how it works. Oh, that's new. Check that out. Did you see that pop up? It said game mode is on. That's one of the new things Apple released with their newest Mac OS, I believe, where it's supposed to prioritize the gaming features like latency and FPS, and I think it disables some stuff that's going on in the background. Okay, and we're loaded in, and that was the first boot up, and it loaded just fine. You can see the FPS counter in the corner. We're getting 60 FPS. I want to load. First, let's look at our settings. And you can see we're playing at a pretty weird resolution of 1728 by 1117. I am not familiar with that one. That's a really weird resolution, but you can see we're not getting our default resolution. All right, it looks like that's the resolution that we're gonna be playing at, but the cool thing is because this has a high refresh rate screen, you can see our refresh rate is showing at 120 Hertz, which is awesome. Full render resolution. We could render higher. Look at that, that is interesting. We could render at the screen's native resolution, which is almost 4K, and then downsample it to this resolution. We're not gonna do that, but good to know you can. And the defaults, you can see everything is on, yeah, everything is on its highest setting, which is high or extra. So this all looks really good. We're maxing out everything, but we're not maxing out the screen's resolution. We are using basically a very close to a 1080p. So yeah, let's check it out. Just want to boot into a zombies match. And look at this. So you can tell just by the screen resolution and by the window, we're getting all the way to the corners, which that might not sound that impressive, but in a lot of other games I've tested out on the Mac, it doesn't see this top bar where like you have the notch and then kind of where the menu bar would be. A lot of games cut that out and they just put kind of a thick bezel right there and call it a day. But this one is doing, I guess you could call it the opposite, where if you had a screen element that was in the middle, you wouldn't be able to see it because the notch is cutting out. All right, and we're gonna have to turn off the big mouse cursor. But then while we're in here, let's check because it's clearly getting locked at 60 FPS. Sync every frame. Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is. Yes, apply. Okay, now our frame cap should be unlimited. And look at that. Now we're getting 140, 150. And, you know, which those extra frames aren't going to help us since this is a 120 Hertz screen. But I can tell you it feels really good. Really good on that 120 Hertz screen. So now I'm going to get to a little bit higher round. And because usually in this game, at least in my experience, you don't really start to feel the lag until like more zombies start spawning, you know, which makes sense. So I'll get some more zombies to spawn then. And again, this frame rate is lock solid. I haven't seen it dip below maybe 130, which because the screen is, again, it's 120 refresh rate. It's permanently locked at 120 on the refreshes, so it looks super smooth. And what's wild to me is just like, you know, everyone knows MacBooks are not good for gaming, and I am not going to claim they are. They are definitely not good for gaming. But when the game supports it, these new M series of chips, they actually are pretty powerful for what they are. Oh, shoot. And the other thing I wanted to say is, remember, this is on battery. This is unplugged. Although, to be fair, I have done quite a lot of testing as far as battery life on these and performance. And with my testing, I've noticed zero difference unplugged versus plugged in. So it doesn't matter for this case. But for almost every Windows laptop that I've tested, being plugged in makes a massive difference as far as performance. So and I'm a little curious. Let's leave this running and let's just look at what are our temperatures right now. You can see we're getting 77 degrees on, and this is on the hottest part of the chip. That's how I've got this sensor set up. And our fan RPM is about 3,500. So that is audible. I can definitely hear it. I mean, no doubt about it, I can hear it. But it's not that loud. And definitely when I've used other Windows gaming laptops, it's not nearly as loud as those have been. But caveat there is that, I'll just show you real quick, is that I do have a custom fan curve set up because I don't like my laptop to run that hot. So I do have the fans running faster than what Apple would allow. So, and you can tell I'm in a little bit of trouble because I just ran out of bullets. And there, right there, when you turn the power on, I know from playing on my Steam Deck a bunch that usually causes a huge frame rate drop, and it didn't right there. It didn't. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think it dipped down to like 110, but that's not even really noticeable in my opinion. All right, okay, let's get it. See. Okay. Okay, we're at round 11, and I just got the death machine, and this is definitely the lowest I've seen the FPS stay, which we're getting in the hundreds, but it's the low hundreds. So yeah, and as soon as the death machine ended, you can see there it went back up to 130 maybe. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try the teleporter because that, if anything's gonna make it lag, that's gonna be it. So teleporter, ooh, I saw 99. I saw 99 right there, but that is the first time we've used the teleporter. And you know what? I'm just gonna pack a punch. Got the RPK. Why wouldn't I? All right, here we go. We got the pack a punch, RPK, and you can see now, oh, there's a double. Now I'm getting 80, 90 FPS in here. It could just be you can see more of the map, I don't know. But it's definitely slower in this room. But again, even still, 90 FPS, that still looks good. Holy, oh my God. All right, that's new. I'm used to playing this map on like, I think it's Black Ops 1 that I played it, and they definitely don't spawn right next to you like that. Or I'm not used to that anyway. I'm expecting to be able to, oh, wrong button. All right, I would have to change my special ability button. It's too close to my switch guns button. It's Q versus 1. But anyway, regardless, the game is running great. It seems to me you would have this game runs as good as you would want, you know? I mean, you're getting generally your 120 FPS and at basically 1080p because it won't let you go any higher than that. So that's a little annoying, but honestly, after experiencing this, I'd probably just lock the frame rate at 120 hertz, not mess around with the resolution, just leave it at the 1080p basically that it's at, and I'd play. And I would say this looks really good. I'm kind of shocked that, you know, gaming on a MacBook, especially it's a 2-year-old MacBook, is going this well. It's kind of shocking. All right, but I'll just keep playing until I die. All right, and I haven't played this game in a bit, so we're probably getting to the top end of the rounds I can comfortably do. I know round 15 is pretty sad, but I just haven't played in a while and I'm not very good. So we'll see. I'll try and make it as much further as I can, but this might be the end. But even still, we're on round 15. There's definitely zombies spawning now. I mean, definitely a good amount. And again, we're still getting above 100 FPS pretty much all the time. So, yeah. Can you play Black Ops 3 on the MacBook? Hell yeah, you can. Gotta get yep, go. And again, you know, now we're getting into a little bit later of a round, and the fans have totally settled in, and I had to plug it in because the battery's gonna die because we were starting to get low because I've been playing for a little bit. But now it's settled in at like 82, which it definitely, the temperature went up when I started charging it, which makes sense. But the fans are still settled in at about half RPM, which is about 3,500, which is audible, but not loud. Definitely not loud. Oh, and I died just like that. All right, well, round 18, and we were still getting 120 at least FPS. And so if you're asking yourself, can I play Black Ops 3 Zombies on the M1 Max? Yeah, you can. And that would lead me to believe if you had the M2 Max or the M3 Max, you're gonna have a really good time with it. I mean, the performance is fantastic. The screen looks great. The fan noise is there, but not too bad. So yeah, so that's how Zombies runs on the M1 Max. Thanks for watching. See you guys.